Former US President Donald Trump's impeachment trial over his role in the deadly riot on the Capitol building will begin in the Senate on the week of February the 8th. Matthew Doran has more from Washington.
There's been a lot of backroom negotiating happening on this matter throughout today after it became clear that the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, would transmit, to use the political jargon, or send the article of impeachment from the House to the Senate on Monday, formally starting this trial process. From there, the discussion was just how quickly those hearings could begin. The Republicans had been asking for a delay, saying that the President needed to have more time to get his legal defence in order. The Democrats had rejected that, but they have struck something of a compromise agreement that the hearings would begin in the week of February the 8th. That's around a fortnight after that article of impeachment arrives in the Senate. What it will mean is that the Senate has more time to go through some of its other work, including confirming more of President Joe Biden's picks for cabinet. It's gone through 2 of those so far, and it's got a few more on its plate, with Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, saying that that will be a matter of priority for the Senate after it does receive that article of impeachment. But Chuck Schumer is still saying that this is something that needs to be dealt with incredibly quickly, that the former President Donald Trump shouldn't be able to avoid scrutiny of his role in those deadly riots which claimed the lives of 5 people just because he is now a private citizen, arguing that the position put forward by some Republicans that this whole impeachment trial process would be unconstitutional is, quite frankly, rubbish.
It makes no sense whatsoever that a president or any official could commit a heinous crime against our country and then be permitted to resign so as to avoid accountability and a vote to disbar them from future office. Makes no sense.
That's the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer. His counterpart, the former Senate Majority Leader, now Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, as I mentioned, had been asking for a delay. He says that the initial vote in the House on Donald Trump's impeachment, making him only the first president in US history to be impeached for a second time, was rushed, and that the Senate process also should not be rushed because, as Mitch McConnell puts it, this is an incredibly tricky legal area and should be given the appropriate consideration by the Senate.
By Senate rules, if the article arrives, we have to start a trial right then. This impeachment began with an unprecedentedly fast and minimal process over in the House. The sequel cannot be an insufficient Senate process that denies former President Trump his due process or damages the Senate or the presidency itself.
And Matthew, that's the focus in the Congress at the moment, but what's the new president up to today?
Yes, of course, he would have one eye on what's happening on Capitol Hill, but his focus has certainly been on his ongoing immediate response to the coronavirus crisis, which he says was severely lacking under the previous administration. Over the last few days, he's signed a number of executive orders relating to the coronavirus pandemic, trying to ramp up domestic supply chains of things like PPE and syringes, vital for the vaccine rollout across the country. But today his focus was more on the economic side or the social side of things, looking at increasing aid for Americans who are doing it tough throughout this pandemic, increasing access to food aid, allowing it or helping people who are currently accessing government benefits to get those benefits more easily, and protecting the many Americans who have lost their jobs throughout this pandemic. He says that the United States needs to be on a war footing as it deals with this crisis, and that the country needs to step up to protect those who are most vulnerable in this emergency.
The bottom line is this: we're in a national emergency. We need to act like we're in a national emergency. So we've got to move with everything we've got, and we've got to do it together. I don't believe Democrats or Republicans are going hungry and losing jobs. I believe Americans are going hungry and losing their jobs. And we have the tools to fix it.
And that is the President Joe Biden speaking earlier today. He, of course, is also looking at the Senate and what they're doing with regards to confirming his picks for his cabinet. Today there was a vote confirming the appointment of Lloyd Austin as his Defence Secretary, the first African American to take up that role. He joins Avril Haines, who is the new Director of National Intelligence in Joe Biden's cabinet. There are a few more outstanding, including Joe Biden's pick for the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, and we expect that vote to happen sometime early next week.